Printing and exporting, printing. Well, we've done a lot of work up till now, and we're quite proud of it, I'm sure. And the next thing that we want to do is get this out. We want to show some people. So we want to print this, and we want to see how we can output what we have done. So we have a few sheets here. We've got A101, interior rendering. We've got a floor plan. We have some interior elevations, and we also have a section in detail. Now, just before we get printing, let's do a little bit of review on how we can clean up our views, and then we'll get printing. So I want to go to interior elevations, and let's just go into this view right here, and this top one, which is the west wall. Let's just right click, activate it, and let's turn off that light, the studio light. So we're going to hide in view elements. Good. All right, so that one's okay. Deactivate the view. Now this one here is showing our section bubbles. We don't really want to see those in this particular view. Let's just right click and we'll say activate view. And then we can just click that one and I can hit plus. I could right click and just say hide in view category really with one of them even. And that'll hide all of our sections. Good. So we'll just deactivate that view. Now we can go up to our floor plan. And let's clean up this one a little bit as well. We'll just activate the view. And we can just tweak this now that we're working on it. I'll click on the line. We'll bring that bubble down just so it's not colliding. This one here, this is actually not going to print, and I'll show you why in a few minutes here. We have just a few cursory dimensions. You can add more if you want later. One thing I'm going to do on this is I'm actually going to take the south and east elevations. I'm going to delete them actually, so I'm just going to click on them in the project browser. Right click, I'll just delete that. And then the east, let's delete that because it's just the west and the north that we're interested in. And what that does is that just gives us a little bit more space. And then I can move the symbol over. Now let's just go back to our sheet and I just want to confirm that everything's okay still. So I'll go back to my interior elevations. Everything looks okay to me. The one thing you have to be a little careful with is if you're ever dragging or moving these section marks, you always want to keep them in line with where they are. Like let's say I pick the line on this one. If I were to just drag it diagonally, it would throw off this view on the sheet. So if you're ever going to move it, use the move tool and just move it right orthogonally in line with that. Okay, so we are going to get to printing. I just wanted to show you a few little things. Deactivate that view. Okay, so if you followed along up until now, you should have something quite similar to what I have. And okay, there we go. Very good. Now, once you get better at Revit, doing something like this, you're doing and learning all at the same time. This shouldn't take you very long at all to produce something like this for a client and print it out. It should be, a half day or maybe a little bit longer job to get that out. I mean, maybe at first it would take a day, and then that time can go down and down and down as you get to know Revit a bit more and develop your styles. Okay, so let's just save what we've got and let's print. So I'm going to go to the application menu and I'm going to click on print. And so far I've just been hovering and I hover over here to print. And here we go. So I have a number of different plotters. We're going to use a PDF as an example. It's a common one to use. And if you're ever sending your print to a print service, then this is a good option. But I can just click on the Bluebeam PDF that I have. And you could have Adobe or there's free ones out there as well. This is a good option. Combine multiple selected views or sheets into a single file. So you won't have each view as a PDF. You'll have the whole set as one set of PDFs. Now, the next thing that you have here are options as far as print range. Let's not pay attention to the name. That's something we're going to choose after. So the print range is either the current window, so it's the extents of the window, or it's the visible portion of the current window. So if this is what I'm seeing, this is what I'm printing. If I zoom in to a corner and I print it, that's exactly what I'll get. With a bit of a caveat based upon the scale, and we'll discuss that in a second. Now we can also click on selected views and sheets. This is probably the most common and useful, so we'll use that one. And we can click on select, and let's just clear out the views. So we can just pick the sheets and just say check all, and we're going to print them all at once. Good. So we just say okay. Do we want to save this? No. That was an easy pick to do, so we'll leave that. Now you'll notice here that it changed my selection. I actually want to put that back on combine multiple selected views into a single file, so that's important. Okay, next we'll go into our settings and setup. So what you can do in here is choose what's the size of paper, how is it going to be printed, is it portrait or landscape? These are actually portrait. Do you want to center it or do you want a margin? And that's something that you can do. These are literal sizes in inches. Even if you're in metric, these tend to be just inch sizes. I'm just going to say paper limit. Or we could say no margin, that's fine. Or we could just say center, that's a good option. Now this is important right here, zoom. You can fit it to the page, which is really bad because you don't know what scale that is. Or you could just go 100% of the scale you've chosen. So like on these views right here, we've chosen the scale of the view. Some of them are 3/8 to the foot. And if it's 100%, that's exactly what it's going to print. It's 3/8 or ½ inch or whatever you chose. Okay, the rest of this, generally, you're just going to leave that as default. Down here, there's a few options. Remember I said don't worry about the view tags that are, unreferenced. We can just check hide unreferenced view tags. Any callouts or sections that don't have a sheet, they won't get printed. So that can be a good thing. Any reference planes that are showing up, scope boxes, crop boundaries, they're all going to be hidden. Most of that is a default thing, just to leave that as is. Okay, so you say okay to that. Now we're just going to confirm where we want to save it. Okay, and we'll just say okay to that, and we'll wait for a little bit. Okay, so we're gonna just call this one complete, or we could maybe call it A. Sometimes it's nice to have different versions. Okay, and the DPI 150, you can increase that if you want, but it depends on how much DPI you used for your renderings and images, and 150 is usually enough. Okay, then we can hit save. So here we are in our PDF view, and we can take a look at our different pages and just confirm the way things look. You can zoom right in. I find if you zoom right in, you get a better picture of how the line types are going to be, and sometimes it'll clear up things that, you might say, oh, why are the lines so thick? It's just a visibility thing. And sometimes you can spot things, oh, I don't want that hatch on that, or that dimension, I don't want that, and zoom out. Okay, here's our little sheet right here. This was our little details and section sheet. But you'll notice all of our numbers are all going to be lined up properly. Our dimensions will be right. And again, this is why you're using Revit. So that's how you print. Now you could save this and you could send this off to a printer, or you could print directly to a printer, of course, and then that would just come right out as you would expect.